All right. So, I hope everybody's having a good night. I couldn't really sleep, so I guess this is what I'm doing for a couple of hours, I guess. So, if you were with us the last time, we were streaming Blue White Control. That's a permission based control deck with Jace as the win con. And we did pretty well with it. I wanted to start off in bronze, but at the bottom of bronze, and we actually started at like bronze tier 3, and in the last stream we climbed up to silver, and the deck performed really well. And so this is we'll just go back over it for anybody that's new to the channel and new to the stream, which I am too. This is only my second stream, so but we're going to go ahead and talk about just a few of these cards. So, of course, we got the obvious, like No More Lies and 3 Steps Ahead. And then we still have Get Long. I mean, there's a lot of, cards in here that nobody, if you know Magic, if you know Blue-White Control, especially in the current meta, these are key cards, I am running Stroke of Midnight. Destroy target non-land permanent. Does give our opponent a 1/1 creature. So far, it's been doing okay for us. Union of the Third Path. Against mono red, giving us that life gain so we can stabilize, as a control deck. That's really important to us. Temporary Lockdown, of course, like that's a staple card, right? We have to have Temporary Lockdown against all the aggro that's out there currently. Quick Study is kind of like a bridge between Silver Scrutiny and Union of the Third Path. Union of the Third Path is great for gaining that life, but that extra card draw off a Quick Study is also really good. And what I mean by bridging that gap is like, I don't want to cast Silver Scrutiny unless I'm paying 5, honestly, to cast at an instant speed and draw 3 cards. So I do feel like, Quick Study kind of fills that bridge between Union of the Third Path and Silver Scrutiny. And Jace, the Perfected Mind, has been doing a lot of really great work for us. Just because of his +1 ability to be able to lock down a creature, kind of like nerf a creature when he comes into play. And then because we have so many aggro decks out there, we have to have more than one sweeper. We have Sunfall, which exiles all the creatures. We get the bonus of being able to incubate and get that token. And then No Witnesses comes in the clutch, in between at that, 4 mana. So we've got a 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana sweeper. And we do need probably more than that, honestly. This meta is definitely like warranting like a best of 3 situation, but we are playing best of 1. Again, some people argue that that's not a meta, or that's not a, they say it's cheap, that's not a real format, but we like best of 1, and that's what we're here to do. So if you like strategy-based card games, if you know about Magic the Gathering, if obviously that's probably why you're here, right? But we're gonna go ahead and try our best to go ahead and rank up a little bit through the next rank, or through the next tier, sorry. And we'll see what happens. As far as the mana base goes over here, Mirex is another win con, I guess you could say, aside from Jace. I do only have the 1 right now. 4 Demolition Field because we lost Field of Ruin. I was running 4 Field of Ruin, 1 Demolition Field. And then I don't like running 4 or 3. I definitely don't want to run 4 Waste just because of the damage that you're taking. But 3, as of right now, that's what we got going. I would like to drop that down to probably 2. But aside from that, I think that the build right now, we did lose a couple of things, right, with the rotation. But as far as right now, I think we've got a pretty solid grip on a couple of key replacement cards. Like, I'm trying out Stroke of Midnight from March of Otherworldly Light. And I am trying No Witnesses. Of course, we were running Depopulate. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some games and see what happens. All right. So, I do have a little bit of a technical difficulty right here. So give me just a moment. I'll be right back. All right, so my camera is, just need to get that back really quick, guys. I do apologize. And it doesn't look like it's going to come back. For whatever reason. So we'll just go ahead and move this. For now, I'll move it out of the way. Just so you guys can see the hand, I do apologize. All right, so this looks like a pretty good starting hand, by the way. No more lies, lockdown, the third path, 3 steps ahead. I think everything looks pretty good. We're up against tubs. We're going to go ahead and keep 7, and it looks like we were going first. So this should be pretty decent. So this is basically just like a continuation of the last stream, just kind of trying to rank up with blue-white control in the current meta. Just trying to fill the water out and just kind of, test the waters, I guess you could say, and just kind of see kind of where we rank among the other current decks in the meta, which again, there's a lot of aggro out there, a lot of mono red. Of course, there's always a lot of mono red, so that's not really surprising, right? And definitely going to no more lies this. We need to exile Mosswood Dread Knight for sure. Okay, great. That's working out pretty well. It would be nice to get another blue mana source, but for right now, I think we're in good shape. Okay, Preacher. No, thank you. So we are running against mono black. I'm sure we're going to see a Liliana here in just a second. Another Preacher. Can't play the counter spell because we don't have the 2 blue sources, so I guess it's going to resolve. And I think we are going to maybe Stroke of Midnight. It's taking my opponent a couple of minutes to surveil. Alright, so I would go ahead and do this after he attacks. I would just go ahead and or not when he attacks, I'm sorry, during his turn, but I think I'll just go ahead and take care of it now. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is, it would be nice if we could actually draw a couple of cards. We're probably just going to go ahead and play Union of the Third Path during his end step, so we're going to pass the turn. And he's going to attack us with the token that we made him. Oh, okay. And then we have the cottage. So we're going to go ahead. I think he was trying to just throw that out there, hoping that we would go ahead and move into our turn. but we're definitely going to get rid of that. And he actually helped us out because we're kind of waiting on that man land to be able to go ahead and get our other blue mana source here. So that was pretty perfect. Okay. So again, I think we're just going to go ahead and pass here. I think we could go ahead and scrutiny. Honestly, we could union, and I think we'd be just as fine. Okay, so yeah, we got the Liliana. We're definitely going to go ahead and counter this thing. Alright, go ahead and pass the turn. I guess are they just gonna hit us with that little token again? I mean, that's fine, but here we go. Now we're getting into some real stuff. Alright, I think we might as well go ahead and draw a couple of cards here. Okay. Getting to our 5th land to be able to Sunfall. Of course, there's not really like a whole lot in play, but whenever Glissa does damage to us, they get some value off of that. Drawing a card and losing a life, destroying target enchantment, remove up to 3 counters. So they're definitely going to try to swing in and get that card advantage going a little bit. We'll go ahead and pass the turn here. Just kind of see if they play anything before attacks, which most of the time they're not going to. They're going to try to attack first. We're going to go ahead and take Glissa out of the attack right here. Okay. I guess that'll have to be fine. They did go ahead and get a couple of cards back off of the Gix's command. They got Preacher in hand, and they got Sunslayer back, so also put a couple of counters on the token that we gave them. I think we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn here. We're probably going to go ahead and play a quick study at the during their end step and try to find that 5th land. Alright, yep. They do have enough mana to go ahead and cast both of the Preacher and the Sunslayer, but they're probably just as worried about me having a Sunfall in hand, and they're thinking that the tokens are probably going to be enough. Or they're just waiting for... Okay. Well, we found the 5th land, so I'm really hoping that they get a little bit more of a board presence going. I'm sure they have removal for Jace. I'm not really trying to throw him out there right now. So I don't really want to use the temporary lockdown, but at the same time it would force them to play a couple of creatures. And I just feel like I do have another one, so let's just go ahead and do that. Okay. So, yeah, I thought it was mono black, but I'm sorry, guys. We got Golgari. I never did correct myself. Black-green combo here. Preacher of the Schism again, and I don't have a counter spell. That would be really nice. Okay, so I think what we're going to have to do is maybe just go ahead and push the Jace out and I don't have a way to protect him. I would rather have a way to protect him. Let's just we're gonna push for it and see what our opponent does here. I saw their cards light up as soon as I cast them, so that must mean that they have some kind of removal for him. And like I said, I'm already calling that they obviously they do. Yep. They still get the card draw off of Preacher's ability. Okay, so they didn't kill it yet. I kind of feel like, if they did have the removal, that they would have used it right there as a perfect opportunity with me pretty much being tapped out. So I don't know what they were waiting for. Well, in any case, we'll just go ahead and plus Jace again. Go ahead and nerf the Preacher down, and we'll go ahead and pass the turn. This is one of those maps that doesn't really have a whole lot of interaction to it. I think like these things light up over here on this other side. Yeah, of the building there. You can kind of like make the windows light up. So he's going to go ahead and attack again, get another card, take another pain, and hopefully he's, well, you got plenty of cards in hand over there. Oh, I see. Okay. Dread Knight, sure. Draw another card. Okay. There we go. Now we're actually getting a board state. This is what we want to see, especially having Sunfall in hand. I think we're going to Union of the Third Path gain some life. All right. Glad that I'm getting to see some land here. That's perfect. We're going to go ahead and Sunfall. And I think they're probably going to go ahead and get rid of Jace after this. Okay, so yeah, they went ahead and killed off the Dread Knight so that they could go ahead and get the most value out of him. And then they killed off the other creatures so I wouldn't get as large of a token. We'll go ahead and +1 here and pass. They might even, destroy themselves off of taking all these points of damage from their own cards. So now they've got 3 more creatures in play, and there's not much they're going to be able to do about trying to save the Dread Knight this time. I feel like, we have the Sunfall. I could go ahead and play the temporary lockdown, and then use Jace to kind of nerf the Sunslayer, which might even be, and then just hold on to the Sunfall. I think that might be a little bit better. We'll go ahead and do that. All right. This game's moving a little bit slow. Okay, so I don't have the counter spell again. They're gonna, man, I'm getting some value out of Giggs's command. So they're gonna be grabbing creature cards. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's fine. Sure. So they're gonna attack me for 2 or Jace. Which one? Yep. Okay, that's fine. That's really like the best part about Jace is like you can play him and he can be a distraction for your opponent. And so it's always great to be able to play a planet. Like if you can get that attack, directed towards your planeswalker and just kind of buy yourself some time. That's exactly what we're trying to do. So they have 4 cards in hand. Sunslayer's up to the 5/5. We'll go ahead and Stroke of Midnight the Slayer. And then we're going to go ahead and +1 Jace and nerf the Bronco. We're going to hold on to Get Lost because I know Liliana's coming. Let's see, we had 1 Liliana in the graveyard. Okay, another Dread Knight. They actually decide not to draw a card off of it. Here we go. Now we've got a decent amount of creatures in play for Sunfall. And yeah, why not? Okay, they've got it. They just played another main land over there. We're gonna go ahead and I think we'll Union. Go ahead and draw a card and gain life equal to the number of cards in our hand. A great card, especially against like mono red. All right, so we'll go ahead and I'll save that for a second. We're just gonna go ahead and Sunfall first. They'll probably end up killing their Dread Knight again to get the value off of them. Yeah. Okay. And then I might as well plus Jace. Pass a turn. All right, this is exactly why we held on to Get Lost. We'll go ahead and discard the land here to her +1 ability. All right, activate the cottage. All right, so whenever it attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, and then also create a food token. So we can wait to play Get Lost next turn. Maybe go ahead and activate and block. They have 31 cards. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and chump block here. Hopefully they don't kill the token before. Okay, there we go. All right, so Dread Knight again, drew a card. All right, Demolition Field actually takes care of the Restless Cottage. They do have 30 cards here, so we can go ahead and minus the Jace, and so target player mills 3 times X cards. So we're going to go ahead and do all 8. Target our player, and that leaves them with 6 cards in their library, so we're going to go ahead and play another Jace. We'll go ahead and ultimate him as well. And we'll say good game. And go ahead and kill Liliana off. We'll also go ahead and Demolition Field the cottage. Just in case I have any type of shenanigans. Sure. I'll go ahead and put a land in play. And that's the end. All right, so we went ahead and milled out Golgari. That was a pretty pretty good game. So we're down at silver tier 4. Like I said before, I was trying to, so I've been ranking mythic, and before I started streaming, I just wanted to go ahead and try to get to a place where I was all the way down at the bottom and just try to rank all the way up to the top again, but actually do it on stream. I've been having a lot of luck with blue-white control. It is actually one of my favorite decks. It probably is my top most favorite deck. But here lately, there's been so many different versions of blue-white control, especially like after the rotation, there's been a ton of more of like creature-based strategies with blue-white control. We're gonna go ahead and jump into another game here. But there's just, with the way that our build is more of a permission-based build, and with running all the Sunfalls and everything else, I think they're running Invocation for one of their sweepers to be able to destroy all creatures in play and then bring one of their own creatures back to the battlefield, which I think is, there's a lot of value there, obviously, but just more so with like permission-based control, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us. So 2-land hand is never a solid keeper, although we do have temporary lockdown. We're going first as well, which if we were going second and we had this hand, I feel like I'd probably keep it. I'm not really a big fan of taking a mulligan, as I'm sure there's not too many people that are. We're going to go ahead and take a mulligan and see. And that's one of the reasons why I do not like taking a mulligan, because then you just end up with a worse hand. So now we've got to mulligan again. This is a little bit better. We're going to have to get rid of 2 cards. And it's going to hurt. I think we're going to have I think we're going to get rid of Silver Scrutiny. I want to keep No More Lies for that early interaction, and then of course, if the board gets overwhelmed, having Sunfall is nice. I think we're just going to go ahead and keep both of those to guarantee ourselves a little bit. So Silver Scrutiny, and I guess we'll get rid of the basic. Probably shouldn't do that. I'm going to go with it. Play the archive to start off with. Seachrome Coast is okay. We'll leave that on top. Alright, so now we're set up to be able to play No More Lies. And we're going to have to get rid of this bat. We're not really, of course, like taking a mulligan and going down to 5 like we just did puts us at a pretty good disadvantage. Quick Study was the perfect card to try to get us back into this game a little bit. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and Quick Study now to give him a couple more options. I feel like he's going to take the Sunfall, but if we draw into okay, so there we go. That's perfect. So now we have 2 Sunfall. He's probably going to look at both of these and say, well, I got to take one, right? All right. So when Greedy Freebooter dies, scry 1 and create a treasure token. Okay, so we have a 4th land. We could go ahead and Union at the end of their turn. Kind of want to keep this open. Either way, if they play another bat, if we get the land, we play Sunfall. If we don't, we play Stroke of Midnight. we kill one of the deep cavern bats, then we get the Sunfall back, then we go ahead and sweep the board. So let's just go ahead and pass, and then we'll Union of the Third Path during their end step to try to find that 5th land that we need. Okay. Yep, go ahead. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and play the Union of the Third Path now. And I said it last stream, but it seriously does feel like every single time, if you run Deep Cavern Bat in your deck at all, it's like you see all 4 of them within, your opening hand, basically. It's just so weird. Like, I haven't gone up against a deck. If they're running Deep Cavern Bat, I see all 4 of them. Like, every single time I go up against anybody running them. And I'm like, how is that possible, man? Every game. Okay, so we do have the 5th land. We could, like, at the end of their turn, destroy one of the bats and then get the Sunfall and then clear the board. So we'll go ahead and play the plains and pass. And just make sure to kill off one of the bats during their turn. I guess we'll probably do that when they go to attack. Scorpion. What's up, buddy? Okay, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and kill off one of these guys. And then we can Sunfall because, and they have the token here that we just gave them, so it makes it even more worth our while. Plus, we're going to get the other Sunfall back. Okay, now we have Sunfall and no witnesses. We're in a pretty good spot here. I do wish that we had Restless Anchorage to go ahead and activate here as well, but we'll just activate our incubator token and hopefully he lives. Okay. Oh, great. Well, no witnesses. That's got to be the one. There we go. We get another body on the ground, I guess you can say, with Restless Anchorage. Get to pay 3 and make it a 2/3 white and blue bird creature with flying until end of turn. Also, it does create a map token for us so that we're able to dig through our deck a little bit. So let's go ahead and attack in. That was pretty nice. Pretty good little play there. Didn't understand it too much at first, but I get it. All right. Viper. Cool. Choose up to 1 non-land permanent to sacrifice or card to discard. Gonna have to go ahead and go with this non-land permanent, right? Or I could lose 4 life. Let's lose 4 life. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and sunfall both of these guys. But we're not going to be able to activate our anchorage this turn, which is, I guess it'll have to be okay, right? Alright, here we go with another Viper. I guess no more lies it is. And we got the counter spell in hand, that's perfect. We'll go ahead and activate the anchorage. Attack in. So we could keep the 3 open for 3 steps ahead. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the mana off the demolition field to be able to activate our map token. Alright, quick study is perfect. We'll leave that on top. I'm kind of curious what else they have in. Okay. Alright. So, I mean, either way, we're going to have to discard a card. So, let's just go ahead and draw a couple off of it. Alright, so we'll discard the No More Lies. Keep Quick Study in our hand. Oh, okay. Well, when it enters. Okay, I gotcha. So, never mind. We'll go ahead and play a No Witnesses here. Activate. Hopefully they draw a land. Alright, so they did go ahead and gain that 3 life off their food token. I really, I think it's so late for me. It's so early in the morning that I think I'm just not thinking things through all the way here. It'll be fine. Alright, so we're going to activate and go ahead and activate our map as well before we attack. Okay. -2/-2, and then, okay. That works. We'll just go ahead and activate our incubator token. Maybe they got another removal spell for that as well, but we're going to go ahead and attack in, see what happens. There we go. And these food tokens are definitely helping to keep them alive right now. What is that last card in your hand? Let's see it. Why don't you just go ahead and play it, Alien Nissa? This avatar just looks really creepy, doesn't it? Miknisdja. Cool. Okay, so a Get Lost really does, that helps a lot. I think maybe... Do I want to play? I guess we might as well play Jace now. And then we're going to try to get a card in our hand. Okay. Play another Demolition Field. And then we'll attack. Okay, so they got Demolition Field of their own. That's wonderful. So, what is this mystery card? There we go. Okay, okay. They waited until they had something. Gotcha. I understand why they waited. They wanted the most value out of that. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and kill off this thing. I should have done it like a little bit earlier. Alright, so we'll go to minus Jace again, see if what kind of card we can get in hand. Okay, that works. Please tell me you drew a land. That would be perfect. Just tell me you drew a land. Nah, that's not good. So, they keep finding just little avenues, right? Little avenues that help them gain a little bit of life here, drawn a few cards here. Okay, 3 steps ahead. We're going to have to plus our Jace, obviously. And we'll attack in. And just try to pull out this victory bit by bit. So I'm on the East Coast. It is, let's see, like 2:41 in the morning right now. Eastern Standard Time. Bitter Triumph. I don't think so. I think we're just going to go ahead and 3 steps ahead, counter and draw. Okay, cool. So that they did a really good job, staying in that game. We made a couple of mistakes. Of course, it is very late, or very early, whichever way you want to look at it. But hey, I couldn't sleep, and I decided to jump on and try to stream a little bit. Magic is a great game, a lot of fun to play. I've been playing for a really long time, since I was 10. So I do have over 20 years of experience playing Magic. And it's definitely, an interesting game. It keeps me interested. It has for over 20 years. It's a great strategy based game. I love playing it. Love going to tournaments, live tournaments, going to MagicCon, things like that. That I haven't done that yet, but definitely been to some different local tournaments, some bigger tournaments in North Carolina, Virginia, a couple different places up, along the East Coast. So we're going to go ahead and jump into another game here. But it is just one of those games that it never gets old. So we have a pretty decent opening hand here. 2 temporary lockdown. I mean, that's pretty much the gold standard, especially if you're going up against like mono red. Stroke of Midnight. I mean, you got a spot removal as well. It'd be nice to have one other earlier interaction, like a Get Lost or No More Lies, but I feel like we're going to keep this. All right, so starting off with Seachrome Coast. Okay. We've got black green again. Got another cottage. Gonna have to be careful with that one. Gonna have to make sure we have some kind of spot removal for that. And of course, this is non-land permanent, so Circle Midnight is not gonna help us. We do have the quick study though. That's gonna allow us to try to search for something to deal with it. It would be nice to. Oh, well. I'm sorry. And that keeps happening to me. Last stream, there was probably and we're silver, if I could speak, tier 3 right now. So ranking up little by little. But last stream there were so many people. Mono red was in a really good spot, and they just quit. They just conceded out of nowhere. And that's kind of been happening a lot recently. And I think, like, I don't even know. Some people start them and I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But it's been happening a lot. I'll just say that. So we're going to jump into another one. No cards in your opponent's hands are shown face up. So that's definitely something to keep in mind too with, certain cards and certain effects. Whether that information that you have is also being shared with your opponent or not. That's a really big deal. We have a temporary lockdown. We have a couple of bodies we can get on the ground. And we have a win condition. So I think that this hand is looking pretty good. We'll go ahead and keep it. The dragons are so cliche, but I don't know. I think my favorite one is the black one. Whenever you expend 4. You expend 4 as you spend your 4th total mana to cast a spell during a turn. Okay. So this is a decent card, actually. This is one of the mana dorks. Can add green or red. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this now, maybe? So they're trying to ramp. And I don't know if temporary lockdown is going to be the key here, because I don't know if we'd get the value off of it. Okay, maybe we would have. All right. We could go ahead and play the Jace already and lock this familiar down. Okay. We're making some big decisions over here. Fabled Passage is a really awesome land, by the way. I mean, I gotta get my hands on some of those. Anytime you're able to search for lands and pull them out of your deck, I mean, that's a huge deal, right? So we'll go ahead and lock down one of them. So at the beginning of your first main phase, add red or green for each raccoon you control. Whenever you expend 4, you gain 3 life. Whenever you expend 8, exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Gotcha. And again, like, you know, for the past few seasons or so, you know, like, and I keep referencing that. Not that that's, you know, that I took a break and came back in or anything like that. I've been playing consistently, but for the past few seasons, I've been really focused on blue-white control and getting to Mythic with blue-white control multiple times. And I was just wondering, like, how much it hurt us after the rotation. And I'm just trying to, like, figure out the new meta a little bit. So we're kind of just, like, dipping our toes in, seeing what's going on. I do know that there's a lot of aggro. The coolest thing, like I mentioned before, is, like, you know, it doesn't really matter what color combo that you're, you know, into. And there's even a place for all the mono colors at this point. You could, I seriously do believe that you could play mono white, blue, black, any of the mono colors currently, and I think that you would do fine in ranked. I think there's currently in this meta a place for everybody, and I do think that that's pretty awesome. All right, so we're going to end up losing Jace either way. I think I definitely want to use the Silver Scrutiny, play it at instant speed to go ahead and draw a few cards. So, and I would rather them use some of their attackers to attack into Jace. So I don't want to kill him off. I know at this point it doesn't really matter. But hopefully this kind of just staves them off and, you know, a little bit away from our health anyways. And hopefully they put their attention on Jace here. Or they just burn out Jace and attack us. Okay. Yep. I was kind of hoping for that. I'm glad that they went ahead and decided to go that route. I'm going to go ahead and play Silver Scrutiny. There we go. Not really anything that helped us out. It'd be really nice to get a Sunfall right about now. Okay. Let's... We could play Union of the Third Path now. It doesn't make any sense to play the Jace now. Could save a little bit of our health this way. I mean, we're going to... Okay, let's just go ahead and Union of the Third Path first. Okay. We'll go ahead and get the tapped land into play now and pass the turn. Yep. For each raccoon, got a badger, a bird dragon. Okay. Oh, yep. All right, so a sweeper is definitely what we need here. Alright, so should have... There's a lot of things that we should have done. Not like it would really matter at this point. Let's go ahead and take out this. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and play Stroke of Midnight. Yep, we're going to have to play Stroke of Midnight. So we're going to go ahead and do that and take out their 7/6. And maybe we go ahead and play Jace as well. So again, just as a distraction, which, of course, they do have 2 map tokens over here. Could have played the temporary lockdown, gotten rid of the 2 tokens and the 2 map tokens, and not played Jace, but still would have taken, 7. And okay, it's looking like we're not gonna have any luck here, guys. Well, we could draw a couple of cards off of 3 steps ahead. Maybe we could find a sweeper. Okay. Didn't happen, so I think we are going to have to concede this one, unfortunately. So, had we have found, Sunfall or No Witnesses, and that's another thing, like, I have 6 sweepers, like between Sunfall as well as No Witnesses, and we also have the temporary lockdown. But I do feel like with this current meta, I feel like I just need to be playing maybe at least one more, maybe 2 more sweepers at this point. We're gonna go ahead and jump into another game. Like, a lot of times I just feel like it's kind of overkill if you're running more than, 4 sweepers of any kind. But at this point, I just feel like I want 8. I almost want 8 sweepers in my deck at all. Maybe we ran out of opponents to play. All right, so on this stream though, we're not just about blue-white control. We're gonna be playing a lot of other decks as well. This is just kind of like the first series. It's just a continuation of the series that we've already got going on. So, unfortunately, it did it to us again. We're at a 2-land hand. We're going to have to take a mulligan. Luckily for us, it worked out that time. Temporary lockdown as well as Sunfall. That's going to work out really well. We could just go ahead and get rid of one of the basics. Which, in control, that's kind of counterproductive, but at the same time, I mean, we could keep... It just depends on what we're playing. If we're playing against mono red, we definitely want the temporary lockdown, Union, and the Sun... I mean, you know, I think, like, going ahead and ditching one of the lands here is okay. I do like the sleeves. Alright, so Heartfire Hero. Whenever it becomes a target of spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, put a counter on it. Whenever it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to its opponent. So looks like mono red. I'm glad that we decided to keep... We did draw the second union of the third path as well. So I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot. It is so distracting, like when they don't have a pet over here, though. They just have that big open space, and like my eyes keep getting drawn to this big open empty space over here. Oh, right. So we've got... This is going to be great. We will be playing temporary lockdown soon enough. Okay. Well, if they have the burn spell or anything with haste, I guess we're practically done here. I did forget how fast they actually were. Mono red is extremely fast. If we can actually survive... Oh, nope. We are done. Okay, so that's 2 losses. We're having a pretty good night, guys. So, again, mono red is just... That's one of the decks that, man... I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy playing mono red myself, but over the years, it's one of those decks, like, you don't have to think about putting it together. You just kind of like, you know, these are the fastest burn spells I've got. You know, these creatures make the most sense. Prowess creatures, cheap creatures, hasty creatures, you know, that's what you're looking for. And, I mean, if you can find cheap creatures with haste that have a great ability, it's a no-brainer, right? And it's a really hard spot to be in against some of these faster decks. Like right now, I want to mulligan this hand because it doesn't have a temporary lockdown in it. We're going to go ahead and keep. So it looks like more Golgari. Been seeing a lot of Golgari. Started off seeing mono red, or mono red, black, white, so Orzhov, and then been seeing a lot of Golgari though here recently. What is this thing? I mean, I'm glad they have a pet. I think this time I could have went with the empty space. So they do have Demolition Field. I feel like if we put ours out there, they're just going to go ahead and destroy it because they're going to be playing their own manland like Restless Cottage. So we're going to wait for them to actually be tapped out with their Restless Cottage on the battlefield, and then I think we'll play Demolition Field and destroy it at that point. Okay, so we've got Innkeeper's Talent. So I don't really think we're too worried about this one currently, anyways. I think we're just gonna go ahead and let it go. All right, we'll go ahead and draw a couple of cards. And I think we'll just go ahead and discard a planes. Try to keep our hand filled with gas here. Okay. I think might as well just go. I don't know. I know it's just it's just a bat. It's just a little what is he, a 1/1? Yeah, just 2 for a 1/1, right? No big deal. And I'm sure like when people are running deep cavern deep cavern bat, they're just like, why does it always get countered? He's just a 1/1, but his ability is just it's so daunting to me. Okay, so now they have a 4/4 Sunslayer. I think we're just going to pass the turn. I do want a little bit more value for Sunfall. Yep. Which we do have the Union of the Third Path. I mean, we're still at 20 health, so, I mean, we're doing okay. Okay. There we go. We'll let the Warlock resolve. I don't know. I mean, at this point, if I were him, I'd probably take like quick study, like take my ability to draw cards out of the way. What he took Jace, which is fine too. That's win condition. So we're gonna go ahead and draw a couple of cards, and here we go. Go into our main phase. I think we could just no witnesses here, but I wouldn't mind having the token as well. I'm just wondering with them being Golgari if they have anything that we're worried about exiling. Maybe I don't want them to get the card advantage either. I think we'll just go ahead and Sunfall now. They do get that extra clue when we play no witnesses, so. Okay. Haven't really seen Vraska too much. Actually, I don't think I remember seeing Vraska being played much at all for the past few seasons. So we could just go ahead and attack into her. Okay, and then since we only have a mana left open, we're just going to go ahead and use that to activate our map token. Alright, another Glissa. Okay. So Vraska does have Ward 1. Okay. So we could go ahead and activate Anchorage. Ward 1 as well for the Slayer. Maybe we just go ahead. I think we'll just go ahead and kill the Slayer. And then we'll activate and attack into Vraska. Okay, yeah. They must have... Really? You chose the token? Okay, you got more than one removal spell? Yeah. Yep. Okay, that's fine. It'll have to be, right? That was pretty good. I'll give him that. They let me think that I was getting away with something. I will say though, Vraska is doing work. I mean, she really is. Every time they use that 0 ability, both of these, the enchantment, I mean, they're doing some work over here. Okay, so they did just go ahead and drop a cottage. And now they have this 7/8 Sentinel. Did go ahead and get the Stroke of Midnight, so that can help us take care of Vraska. So maybe we go ahead and get rid of the 7/8. They're just getting so much advantage though here is the biggest thing. We do have the Union of the Third Path. Maybe we just go ahead and take this out. All right. Play the Stroke of Midnight. I think we will just go ahead and play the Stroke of Midnight and get rid of Vraska. They have Sentinel in their hand. Well, another Sentinel in their hand. Let's go ahead and play the Archive as well. Get rid of that land. We need a little bit of a hand here. I mean, we're in decent shape. This thing is going to... Okay. Oh, another Vraska. Okay, so we get rid of one Vraska, they just replace it for another one. We're definitely going to have to go ahead and sweep the field. Well, we have another sweeper on top of it, so that's great. Let's go ahead and get rid of them. And we will pass the turn. I think think next turn we're just going to go ahead and try to fill our hand back up a little bit with Silver Scrutiny. We could go ahead and Union afterwards, which would be perfect. Okay, so they dropped the cottage at the end there. Resolve the clue. All right. So with Dread Knight, I mean, it doesn't really matter if we destroy him. I mean, we really have to exile that guy. Oh, and look at that. Alcatraz. Okay. They are just getting so much value here off of everything. And of course, like, Golgari was great pre-rotation. You know, obviously, I knew it was going to be good going into post. So, again, if we do the no witnesses, I mean, I really need to use Stroke of Midnight to take out the Vraska, and then the no witnesses to take out the Dread Knight. They're just going to end up playing these guys over again. They're going to end up getting more value off the Dread Knight. So this is tough, guys. Tough spot to be in. All right. We are going to use the Stroke of Midnight on the Vraska. They're getting way too much advantage off of this thing. Drawing way too many cards. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and no witnesses these guys. And like I said, I know it doesn't get rid of them. I mean, we're down to 6 health here. Alright, so we have the Sentinel. And they do have Alcatraz. I know his name is Aclazotz, but Alcatraz is just... That's what comes to mind when I see those letters together. Alcatraz. All day. Okay. So let's go ahead and play a land. We could go ahead and pay 5. Well, I meant 5 altogether. Okay. So the Dread Knight is going to have the Ward 1. I just went ahead and let him take me out there. There wasn't really, you know, really a point of return in that game, unfortunately. So tonight, we're not looking so great. But we're going to keep on going. Like Jug. So we have 3 temporary lockdowns and a no witnesses, 3 lands. I think we're looking pretty good. We're in pretty good shape here. Keep that. From the way the lands look, I mean, that is a pretty sweet sleeve, if we're being honest. Looks like Rakdos to me. A little bit of black-red. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and keep the land on top. Gotta love the holographic fish pet. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so yeah, we are looking at Rakdos, black-red. Go ahead and throw a land down here. It's great that we have the 3 temporary lockdowns. We're going to need them. Alright, so let's go ahead and play one. Laughing Jasper Flint. I did not like that card. Not a fan. Gonna have to do something about him. Okay. Number of outlaws you control at the beginning of your upkeep. I think I just want to go ahead and get rid of him, to be honest. Alright, there we go. We have the Sunfall in hand. Really, when it comes to temporary lockdown, I like to have 3 targets. I really do. I feel like, if you do anything less than 3 targets, you're not getting nearly enough value. I think we could go ahead and lock down now. They're down to 1 card in hand. We do have the Sunfall. I would assume one of those is a land. Okay. So we'll discard the Anchorage. 2/2. Okay. We'll pass the turn. Alright. Archive is going to help us out a little bit. Let's see what we got on the top here. Get rid of the land. I like that this is like a big murder mystery room. You've got like the dead body over here on the side. Everything's very clicky. Like you can tap on the glass and everything. The rope lights up. Got a little knife over there. Okay, so this one, add 2. If an opponent lost life this turn, add black-red. You can discard a card and draw a card so you can loot with this. Okay. I don't feel like we need a Sunfall just yet. Maybe we'll give it another turn. We'll give it one more go. There we go. Now we've got plenty of targets. If only. The fact that he costs 3 mana, I mean, Temporary Lockdown would be the perfect card here. Lock all this away, and then keep the Sunfall in hand. But we'll go ahead and Sunfall now. Okay, they're going to go ahead and activate with the Offspring. So, Offspring 2, you may pay an additional 2 as you cast the spell. If you do, when this creature enters, create a 1/1 copy of it. I notice there's plenty of cards in the current meta that have Offspring. It's a really cool mechanic, actually. Okay. So 1 damage to me whenever a land comes into play. Let's see if we can get a draw spell. That would be perfect, right? So the problem with playing Lockdown is that I don't want to get rid of my token. We'll go ahead and pass the turn. I mean, yeah, I said I wanted to use Lockdown when there was like 3 targets, but I didn't want one of those targets to be my own. Okay, we got another land, so we're going to take a couple more damage. Alright, let's go ahead and activate this. There we go. Pass. Hopefully they draw. Well, I mean, I guess that works too. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go against what I just said, and I'm going to have to go ahead and play the Lockdown. So, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Hopefully we can just get into something that allows us to draw a little bit of cards. I mean, that works too. Stroke of Midnight's not bad. Okay, looks like they're drawn into some lands here. There we go. We're going to go ahead and, I mean, honestly, we could just go ahead and refill our hand. We'll go ahead and, let's pay 8. So we'll just go draw 6 cards. And we'll go ahead and play the land. We could get a Jace out there and get it going. I feel like it would be okay to do. We'll wait until our next turn, actually. Okay, so Flint, we'll go ahead and get lost. Then we'll play the Jace. We really need to get the anchorage down too. All right. Well, we have the demolition field. We could get. We could have taken care of the Cavern of Souls. Unfortunately, he's gonna resolve. Sure. That's actually useful information for us as well. Oh, okay. Gets rid of it. Okay, let's see what happens. Another cavern. Okay. Resolve. go ahead and draw a couple. And then draw a few more. Okay. So this isn't like necessarily ideal, but what we could do is get lost one of them, stroke of midnight the other one, +1 on the token, pass turn. Okay, Fireglass Mentor. If an opponent lost life this turn, exile the top 2 cards. Okay. So, okay. So we got a victory, guys, again. We're getting a little bit more into the realm of actually doing something. Now we're going to jump into another one. What do we got? John Nixie. John Nixie. Stroke of Midnight, Unit of the Third Path, Jace of Perfected Mind. I'd really like a couple of more earlier interactions. So, with the opponent going first, we might be able to draw into something that'll help us out. And it looks like mono black discard. So, we're going to go with the waste. Yeah, we might as well go with the waste. There you go. Not making this easy for me, opponent, at all. We just started. How about I guess we'll get rid of the other waste. Unfortunately. Okay, so we definitely gotta counter that. And they're probably going to have another Liliana in hand. Very soon. So, do I leave myself open, or do I... They have Mirex over there as well. I think we'll just go ahead and pass the turn for now. Yep, they're going to activate the Mirex. So once they get so many tokens out, I mean, we can Sunfall. I think what we're going to do is play, well, I mean, that's the thing, right? If we play Jace, he's just going to, he's just going to destroy it. I'm sure he's got the removal in his hand. It could save us a little bit. Maybe even give them like a distraction if they don't have the removal spell. Then maybe they would want to attack into Jace, but let's go ahead and play the land, and hopefully they'll attack into Jace and not me. Alright, so gotta discard a non-land card. Union of the Third Path is probably going to be the one. I mean, we're still at 17 life, and they're trying to kill us with poison at the current moment, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of Union. If we just had a way to get rid of the Mirax, we'd be in pretty good shape. With that being said, maybe we just go ahead and -2 and see if we can find something to just permanently get rid of this thing. I think that might be the best plan. Dig through our deck. I know it's just a card, but we definitely got to find a demolition field. Okay. So we're gonna if we activate. I mean, we could block one. Probably gonna have removal for our Restless Anchorage in hand. I'll just pass a turn here. We are at 2 poison. We got a little bit of time. So they're probably gonna be able to cast one of these. I was assuming by now they would have drawn into their 5th land. Okay, let's just go ahead and let the damage come through. There you go, horsey. Okay, so we're taking that to level 2. I wish this would get out of the way so I can have the candy trail available. Go ahead and draw a couple of cards during their end step. Okay, we got the demolition field. So now we can go ahead and take care of the Mirax. I think it costs 3, yeah, 3 to activate it, so they can't activate it currently. And then we'll hold 5 lands. We got 5 land. We could go ahead and play Sunfall. I don't really want to use it just yet, but we have the 4 poison. Nah, we'll just go ahead and +1, nerf one of them, and then probably just get lost the other. Really, I probably need to get rid of this. But I'm just so worried. Like, there's so many different targets, you know, for okay. Exile a card from my hand. And then they get to draw a card. I think I'm just going to go ahead and counter and draw a couple of cards off of this. Alright, so I think Union would be fine to get rid of here. We got the quick study, so we're okay. Okay, a second Sunfall. So let's just go ahead and get rid of both of them. Oh boy. How's it going, partner? So, target opponent discards a card. I think I'm just going to go ahead and kill it off. I'm still going to have to discard a card. Stroke has to go away, unfortunately. So, I could activate both of these and go ahead and attack in. I think that is going to be the plan. All right. I was waiting for them to use a little bit of removal. Surprised they don't have any for Jace. We'll go ahead and activate the map because we only have the one land open at this point anyways. And then we could go ahead and +1. Nah, yeah, might as well. They've got 40 cards left in their deck right now. Land it is. Okay, another sweeper. That works out pretty well. Can activate one anchorage and the other. Let's do that. Get a couple of map tokens off of these guys. Completely tapped out, and I'm really surprised I haven't taken Jace out yet. I wish there was more you could do with the horse as opposed to just feeding them apples. Okay. Discard one. Let's go with... I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with... I should probably go with Quick Study, honestly. But I would like to try to dig for my second Jace, so I can just go ahead and finish this game out. So maybe no witnesses is the play here. That would have been nice, a turn ago. Okay, well, let's see. Hold on a second. When he enters, he lost life. Okay. We'll go ahead and just lock this guy down. They do have the 2 map tokens. They're like, hey, I've got the map tokens. I'm still going to lock it down. Activate one of our anchorage. And then we'll use one of our own map tokens. We're going to try to leave 3 mana open here for Quick Study. Okay. Yep. Already expected that to happen. Okay. Bat. Let's go ahead and draw a couple of cards here. Well, that made their decision really easy. Usually I try to play quick study to, you know, give them more options. Give them a little bit of... It kind of sets up... I mean, not when you draw a bunch of land, obviously, but, I mean, I just like to play a draw spell in those situations. And generally, it just gives them a choice between, you know, a sweeper or a spot removal. We're going to play Archive. So 3 steps ahead could actually be pretty good. Really, we're looking for Jace and or a draw spell here. I think we're just gonna throw that away. We're gonna lock him down. Maybe we'll activate our other anchorage. Okay. Use the map token now. Okay. Oh, that works for me, sir. That works for me. Or ma'am. All right, so now they're down to 34 cards in their deck. We just drew the Jace. So we're going to go ahead and take them out. Going to go and watch these cards go away. And you know, like, it can be argued that playing Jace and just waiting around to be able to mill out your opponent is just kind of ridiculous, right? Especially with how fast decks are right now. But Jace does really solid work, you know, against these aggro decks, being able to lock down a creature. I really don't know why I haven't seen more Planeswalker removal, especially with these Golgari decks, Orzhov, Black-White, right? But Mono Black especially, like I don't know how he was able to survive that long, to be honest. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, we're going to jump into another one. You know, I wanted to go ahead and jump on here just because I felt like I needed to. And I wasn't really all that tired anyways, so I was like, might as well just jump on and like kind of stream for a little bit. I hope that, you know, if you've been here and kind of, you know, watched me a little bit, I hope you did enjoy, you know, the stream, you know, the gameplay. I hope you're enjoying yourself now if you're currently watching. I do appreciate anybody that does stop by, you know, to hang out with me for a little bit. I will tell you though, like the players that play Magic during the day and the players that play Magic at night, it's like there's a difference there. Like if you're playing, it doesn't matter like what level you're playing on. If you're playing on bronze, silver, you know, whatever, there's definitely a different skill set from the nighttime players as opposed to the daytime players. We're going to start off with Anchorage. So right off the rip, they've got a Restless Vents over here. Going to have to be careful with this. Does the fairy have antlers? Is that what's going on? Are those antlers? Oh, that's like a crown. Okay, I see. A fairy with antlers wouldn't be all that surprising, but it just, I don't know. It messed with me there for a minute. All right, so Seachrome Coast. Let's go ahead and get the game rolling here. I really wish that we had something to get rid of this guy. We do. We have four lands that get rid of this, but demolition field is all we have for that in our current build. I mean, okay, we do have get lost, but other than that, maybe. Okay, preacher, gotcha. So before he attacks, I'm gonna have to kill this thing. Gonna have to destroy this thing. Okay. We are almost to the point where we've got enough. I mean, right now we do have enough to go ahead and sweep with no witnesses, but I think because they're going to activate this. So, and since we have the other sweeper, maybe we could just go ahead and cast the no witnesses. We're still at 20 life. I mean, they do get value out for the crew claw as well. So, I think I just want to go ahead and take them both out here. Unfortunately for you, I don't have a creature or a planeswalker. They're going to search for a card, put that card into the hand and lose 3 life, and put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the back. Okay. So, might as well go ahead and use Stroke of Midnight to get rid of this. And then get rid of this land for sure off the top. All right. Let's see. Could use a demolition field for sure. I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn. We're going to try to counter draw off of their next play. So now they get the ability from the Crew Claw. Okay. We'll go ahead and counter draw now. And then let's go ahead and get rid of the coast. All right, so now we have a get lost. That's perfect. I don't want Crew Claw to continue to get that value. I need to get lost for the land. I think we Sunfall. Oh, okay. Should have waited on that Sunfall. And that you know, that's one of the mistakes I've been making lately is playing a Sunfall too early. It just like it's like it's you know burning a hole in my pocket, and I just got to play it. So now I think we're gonna have to just use Get Lost on this. We can Union real quick. Okay, we got the demolition field for the vents over there. So I think we're going to be okay. At least for the time being. Might as well go ahead and play the Seachrome. Okay, so are they going to activate their vents yet? If they, okay. So Field of Ruin, or not Field of Ruin, sorry, Demolition Field. And then we just need something to get us drawing some cards. All right. Well, we can at least use our temporary lockdown to get rid of a couple of tokens. There you go. We had a perfect target. So we'll go ahead and get rid of some tokens here. And just hope for a draw spell. Get a little bit of card advantage going. You know, we could be attacking. So they left the mana open, but I mean, and they probably do have the removal spell. Yes, they do. So much card advantage here. Okay. Okay. Perfect. You know, it would just be really nice. Actually, they're going to crack this either way, so might as well not even try. But it would just be, it'd be so nice to draw into a draw spell here. Oh, thank you for gifting me a card. Oh, okay, I get it. Nice. So I get the draw spell. Man. that really hurts. And then they can go ahead and continue to make little fish off of Fountain Port. All right. So we don't have... I'm sure they've got removal in their hand now. But we might as well try. We don't really have a whole lot else going on at the present moment. I think I'll go ahead and activate the map. Yep. Okay, I think get lost on the preacher. Might as well temporary lockdown again. Okay. You know, we don't really have but 4 cards that can get rid of this thing. We've already used 1. I believe did we only see 1? Yeah. Okay. So might as well go ahead and draw a couple of cards now. Okay, we can throw another anchorage down. Really, we need to... We need another silver scrutiny, is what we really need. Oh no. Okay, well, that was great. I'm taking my cards. Use them against me. I don't know, guys. I think we're probably going to lose this one too. All right. There we go. We've got the demolition field now. So let it go another turn. They're making fish galore. And they're going to end up dropping us down to 2 life. And then they probably have a... I wonder if they would have a burn spell. Probably would. They've got plenty of cards and plenty of mana. Ooh. And that finishes us off, guys. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to have any luck tonight. I think, I was talking in the last stream about going back to the drawing board a little bit with blue-white control, and it does appear that we're probably, that we're definitely going to have to do that. So I do apologize for being a little bit bland today. I am now starting to feel it that it's a little bit late. So I think for now, we're just going to go ahead and make a couple of adjustments. And we'll take another look at the deck really quick, actually. So, again, I think that the amount of sweepers in here just isn't enough. I do believe that this is also one of the hardest metas to run to play best of one when it comes to permission-based control. So I think we might even try to get into a little bit of best of three, especially if we start to stagnate, which this is really early to start stagnating with blue-white control. We do have the 4 demolition field, and Field of Ruin leaving really hurt. I was running Field of Ruin and Demolition Field in the before rotation, pre-rotation, and I just feel like a Silver Scrutiny, I think, kind of replaces Memory Deluge in a way. The ability to refill your hand is great. Generally, whenever I need to draw cards, it's around the time that I have 5 mana in play, and then I can go ahead and cast Silver Scrutiny at instant speed. No More Lies is, of course, probably a 4 of. It's just so many decks are playing Cavern of Souls that it just kind of, a lot of times, it becomes just a manila card in your hand. Get Lost does do work, and I was thinking about doing 4 Get Lost and maybe 2 Stroke of Midnight, but just the fact that Stroke of Midnight destroys anything, I think that's pretty good. Another card that I've been considering a lot is Urza Silex. And just being able to, let me go ahead and just look it up really quick. There we go. So, yeah, Urza Silex is decent, being able to pay 3, it comes into play. I think, once it gets to a point where you have 7 mana, being able to go ahead and put it onto the battlefield and then sacrifice it the turn that it comes into play, being able to destroy everything in play. If you have the extra 2 mana, then you can go ahead and look for a Planeswalker as well. So there's a lot of value with this card. And anything that's running a bunch of artifacts, I just think that Urza Silex just comes in the clutch with a lot of these decks. I've seen a lot of enchantments, creatures, and artifacts being ran by a bunch of different decks. So I think that I think that the build that I have now for blue-white control is just kind of getting overwhelmed by there being so many different card types and so many different decks. So having something that gets rid of Planeswalkers, especially if somebody's running Super Friends or something along those lines where they got a bunch of Planeswalkers, I think that that's probably going to be a one of, at least a one of to start off with. I think it's probably going to be necessary. But having the fourth get lost in there, I think is also going to be necessary. Maybe go down to 2 Stroke of Midnight, just because of the sheer amount of man lands that are out there. But we're not going to give up yet. We're going to, tweak this a little bit, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Well, later on today. And I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for those of you who watched. I do appreciate it. If you want to catch me again, I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm trying to get a set schedule as far as like getting more streamlined with streaming. Streamlined with streaming, that sounds great. And but as soon as I figure that out, I'll let you guys know. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next time.